This is the 2025 Ford F-350 Crew Cab Diesel Dually. This is a Super Duty. Now there are other Super Duties from the F-250 all the way up to the F-650, and I used to be a trainer on these cars, so I'm really near and dear to my heart. But these vehicles have changed over the decades, and some of the improvements are pretty impressive. Let's get started with the color of the vehicle. This is Glacial Gray, which is a $995 option. There are two new colors as well, Avalanche, which you've seen on the Raptor R, as well as a red metallic. In 2024, the Super Duty had a lot of changes. There's some consolidation and improvements of features for 25. This new generation has the new headlights that are stacked, that are LED driving lights, a gigantic Ford logo, which covers all the safety features and tow hooks. Let's take a look under the hood while we're here, right underneath this Super Duty embossed hood. Under the hood is a standard diesel Power Stroke engine with 475 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque, which is quite a bit. But the high output version, which is new for 2024 and is on our test vehicle, is pretty impressive. It is a 500 horsepower, 100 pound-feet of torque. It is the most powerful in the class, including the competition. Backed by a 10-speed automatic transmission, we got 18 miles to the gallon. That's 800 miles on a tank when it's fully loaded. Rides on 245/75R17 E-Load tires, black sidewalls, they're all terrain, and it has a 355 rear gear ratio. Our test vehicle has the Preferred Equipment Package 723A for $12,995, as well as a Platinum Plus package, an additional $6,500. That includes Pro Power on board with a 2-kilowatt generator, and that's available on the King Ranch and the Platinum. Our test vehicle is a Platinum. Glass roof, which is twin panel, and upfitter switches on the overhead console, as well as a max reclining seat on the driver's side. We have owned these type of vehicles since 1989, and we're going to get some expert advice on the driving experience and the vehicle itself from Paul Fix II, who's been driving these vehicles with goosenecks, fifth wheels, and tag trailers, and drives one every day. Our test vehicle rides on 245/75R17 black sidewall all-terrain tires, and in the rear axle, you've got two wheels on each side with a 355 rear axle limited slip. Our test vehicle is a Platinum, which is listed right here on this side panel, F-350 here. Each of the different trim levels posts that information here. 6.7-liter Power Stroke. This is the high output engine, like I was talking about under the hood. Retractable running boards, and these are really nice to have, and they are a bit delayed. If you hit the lock button, you can watch these tuck up. And of course, the mirrors fold in as well. And the mirrors are retractable. They're power, which is a really nice feature, especially if you need to extend them. You've already hooked up the trailer, you forgot to extend the mirrors. No worries, that's inside on the panel right here. Privacy glass on the second row, and something that is new for the 2024 and 25s, which I wish I had on my 2022, is a step that is built in. You can buy these aftermarket. There is a ton of aftermarket components, but anything that makes it easier to get into the bed is a plus. Our test vehicle has the FX4 off-road package, which is $550, and it does include skid plates, as well as Vehicle Integration System 2.0 for an additional $400. Coming around to the back of the vehicle, you've got a nice little light, which is really great when you're trying to connect a trailer at night. LED taillights, Platinum across the back, really nice and bold. And then, of course, you've got all your connections for your trailer towing connections here, Class 3, and, of course, everything for your chains and your tie-downs. Nice little step that's integrated in as well. Really nice and clean. And the idea of this vehicle is to make it a work truck that actually has luxury as well as cool technology. Power sliding rear window with defrost and privacy tint is standard. We'll talk about technology in just a second, and we'll show you those onboard scales, the smart hitch, and that is available on the King Ranch as well as the Platinum. An 8-foot box is standard, and best of all, this vehicle is built in Kentucky. I was just at the factory, a pretty impressive facility. Warranty is 3 years, 36,000 miles, but this diesel engine goes for 5 years, 100,000 miles. One of the reasons I love diesel. It's all about towing, because it's not about horsepower, it's about torque. The dual rear wheel F-350 has a maximum towing capacity of 28,000 pounds. When equipped with a fifth wheel or a gooseneck, that maximum towing capacity shoots up to an astonishing 40,000 pounds. When it comes to payload, the single rear wheel drive Super Duty is between 3,000 and 4,000 pounds, and the dual rear wheel configuration tops out at 5,000 to 8,000 pounds depending upon your engine. Our test vehicle has a fifth wheel hitch that's built into the bed already, which saves you doing it on your own, and that'll move your towing capacity up to 35,000 pounds. That's a $650 option that's absolutely worth every penny. Our test vehicle has a spray-in bed liner, which is $595, and I highly recommend it because there's nothing worse than damaging the bed of your truck. A retractable rear bed step is an additional $390. It also has tie downs in the bed, power tailgate, trailer brake controller, which is inside, and the tailgate step, as well as tow hooks. You can get this vehicle with a 6.5 or an 8-foot bed, depending upon which version of the Super Duty. Inside, you have a light inside the bed, as well as your generator, so you can work on something here. You can go to a tailgate party. Anything you need to plug in, you got power on board. On the other side of the bed, you've got connections as well, depending upon what you're looking for. This thing has power, it's got tie downs, and it's got bed protection. Every brand has their own version of how to get into the bed or how the bed functions, whether it's a multi-tailgate with General Motors, a split tailgate with Ram. Ford has opted for the step, which makes it easy to get into the bed, especially when you need to get something out and you don't want to open the cargo cover. Our test vehicle has a 12-inch center screen, which has all of your expected center screen multimedia interfaces for your phone, your navigation, your apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or wireless. When you're in park, you can use YouTube. There's other mobile apps you can put in here. The settings are really great because you not just have vehicle settings for the information that you need, you can personalize this the way you would like, but on top of that, and all the ambient lighting and things that you get to choose, you can actually pick the colors. A lot of people like that. Going back to settings in themselves, there are 3 pages of them, your displays, your seats. Now your seats are impressive. You not just have the adjustments for driver and passenger, which are completely customizable, you also have massage settings. This all are different intensity levels. This is for the driver and the passenger, and they're really nice. Ford has one of the best massaging seats that are out there. Mobile updates are here, Ford Assist, vehicle hotspot, and then of course the valet mode, which is good because you don't want anyone to have a party with this vehicle on your dime. Driver assistance features. Ford has one of the best systems for driver assistance features, which is your safety features. Lane keeping assistant, all of this can be turned on and off or set the different modes. Really nice to have. Rear view camera display, blind spot information. Whatever you want on or off, you can customize that to your liking. Onboard scales are really cool. Okay, now what this does is, right now I'm the only one in the car. I do not weigh 150 pounds, but it's showing 150 pounds of gain here. And then of course you can put up to 5,000 pounds total. Also you can check for other applications. But it's nice to have, especially so you don't go over the payload. So it's really important. Pro Power on board gives you the ability to use a generator on the back. Right now it's not running, obviously, because we're sitting in the vehicle. But this is really great to have for tailgating. If the power's out in your home, and a lot of people have used these to power a refrigerator or an oxygen machine or something you might need, or if you're on a job site, you can use that for all kinds of things. Smart Hitch is really nice because it helps you back up. You can put the specs in for your trailer, like I'll talk to you about in a second, and you also have a connection list. Really good for people that don't have the experience. There's 13 steps to show you what to do. If you're a regular person who hauls things like we are, it's not a big deal. Zone lighting as well is really nice, your owner's manual, and then you can record some feedback. In addition to that, you've got your settings here on the left and the right. You can adjust the different things that you want. Pretty basic. It's not meant to be too far, but it's really a lot of information. Your Pro Trailer Assist is great for backing up the trailer. If you're not good at backing up a trailer, this will do it for you. Really nice to have. There's your trailer brakes as well as your different drive modes. There's no sport drive mode. It's slippery and tow haul. All normal things that you would expect to be in a Super Duty. Big buttons, which are really nice. Climate control, heated seat, 3-stage heated, 3-stage vented seating. You've got wireless charging as well as USB and USB-C connections. Storage, lots of storage. Puts pens or whatever you want here, change. More storage here. Cup holders, this is cool. So you can put your big gulp in here. Really nice little feature to have. Slides over if you want to just put your sandwich there. Over here, nice soft leather material, wood in the center. Inside is a gigantic well underneath this tray that is lit, and additional charging ports. On the right side, press this button and you can get into that secret little area above your glove box, your regular glove box. Tons of storage in the door. Bang & Olufsen audio, which is standard premium. Love this material that's on the seats. And then below this, you've got a 12-volt outlet for your radar detector or charging for something else. Very nice. Lots of nice details, as well as storage bins on the side of each side of the center console. On the left side of the steering wheel, you've got your bed controls, lighting, as well as additional lights, the parking brake, and the adjustable pedal, which is really nice to have. Everything on the steering wheel is standard for Ford. This is a Platinum Edition. All of your adjustments are here, and when you change drive modes, you'll get a whole presentation because Ford loves to do this. They do a great job with their graphics. That's it. Nothing sport. Doesn't need to be a sport. Just needs to be normal. All of your information is there. Shifter is still on the column. Going up and down is really good for when you're towing. There is a tow haul mode. You want to use that when you're towing. This is a gigantic head-up display. You can customize it to what you want. Excellent information is here. And I really like the fact that they are big, bold letters that you can see. One last thing on the audio, Bang & Olufsen Tune Stereo is standard. It's a 640 watt system, 8 speaker setup, or you can get the optional 1080 watt with an 18 speaker setup. There are 5 seats inside this vehicle, but the Platinum Plus has beautiful leather interior, lots of chrome details, and exclusive leather materials for this trim level, including, of course, the massaging seats and 4-way lumbar. The passenger seat does do max reclining. That will require the second row seating to be folded up. This seat will be a great place to sleep if you need to. The rear seats are really flexible. Pull this up, you can do 60-40 split. There is a lockable storage bin that is below the seats. Same thing they've had in previous generations. It also folds away in case you don't need it. Getting into the second row, super comfortable leather seating. It's a bit on the flat side, but there are 2 child safety seats that are on the outboard seating. In addition to cup holders behind the center console, there's cup holders in the door. There's tons of storage bins on the side and 2 cup holders here, which of course would replace the person sitting in the middle. The rear glass has a center slider, and there is a defroster on the back as well. These leather seats are heated. There's also charge ports back here. They're USB-C, as well as a regular wall outlet and 2 vents. As the current owner of an F-350 Crew Cab Dually Diesel, which happens to be a 2022, and my husband drives it on a regular basis, so we're going to get some expert opinion from someone who's owned this truck throughout the ages, throughout the different generations, and he's driven hundreds of thousands of miles across the country, towing our cars to races, to shows, and we're going to get some inside information from Paul Fix II, as someone who's owned many, many of these. And it's going to be an interesting perspective, and I'm sure it'll be different from mine.
Well, the 2025 is definitely a step up. Ford has always done a great job with new styling and new features in the car. And obviously with the high output motor now with 500 horse, you can really haul a lot more than you have. And it's going to give you better gas mileage, which is always a big concern. This has the FX4 off-road package that really has a rougher ride. Those people that are not utilizing this for an off-road vehicle, I might suggest not getting the FX4 package for a smoother ride on the highway. It doesn't really sacrifice any payload or towing capability, but will certainly save your back over time. Interior is fantastic with these new lay-down seats. We waited for many years for the full lay-down seats. Every button that you can imagine is on the dash and well within your reach. It doesn't have a center stack that you have to keep going into to change all of the specifications and options like some of the other vehicles in this segment. Ford does a really great job keeping it at your fingertips with all the little dials and everything, for you can go quick to change certain things. This has the movable pedals and a fantastic new interior, multicolored with leather fabric and stitching. That is really fantastic. The new B&O stereo is very high-end. Since driving these things for many decades, Ford has done a fantastic job, and still, I believe, #1 in the segment. I think the Dodge and Chevy are always playing catch-up with Ford from a horsepower, for a rideability, from a towing capacity. This is the benchmark, and that's why I've driven Fords since the 80s. In this configuration and hauled huge trailers with big payload, and this is my go-to truck.
Paul has a really great perspective on these vehicles. As each vehicle has changed, we've bought each new generation. We have not purchased a 2024 and newer. 24 and 25 are pretty much the same, just some new colors on the exterior, which we talked about, some new interior colors. Those are all great features, but when you're buying a truck, it's about using it as a truck. It's about payload. It's about towing capacity. And that's what these vehicles are all about. It is a work truck. This is not a truck you would drive around daily. It is a big truck. And someone who has driven this and had to try and find a parking spot, just park way the heck out, because you are at least a spot and a half, maybe 2 spots that you're taking up. So I'm always courteous and I park as far out as possible. And that's probably your smartest move. But there's a lot of safety that's been added to this vehicle for 2025, in addition to the scales, which we first saw on the Lightning truck on the F-150. Now that's available. All your driver assistance features, same as it's been on the previous generation. Also towing, the Pro Power onboard. We don't use it. We're used to backing up to hitch up either a fifth wheel or a gooseneck or a trailer on a class 3. If you're not sure about backing up a trailer, did I connect it properly? Did I connect the electrical properly? That's why it's really important to go through the Pro Trailer Assist, which is really great because it'll go through all the things that you need to do. Did you connect all your electrical? Did you use the tie-down bars? Did you, whatever it might be, it's all on the list. If you're hauling a trailer on a regular basis, you can put all the details of that trailer in here, and you can even add additional cameras. There's a lot of fantastic features. All the other brands offer something. I think that Ford offers the best Pro Trailer Assist package, as well as a checklist to help you get the vehicle right. You want to get it right. You don't want to make a mistake when you're hauling a trailer, especially when loading it. But that's a whole other conversation, because if you load it inaccurately, you're going to have the tail wagging the dog. And I'm sure you've got some stories about that. You can put those down in the comments below. I have seen some exciting situations, and you definitely don't want to be in those type of situations. As far as all the vehicle information, it's all right here in your center screen. You can slide over. You got your owner's manual, as well as you can record some feedback. I like this truck. It is huge. It is large and in charge. Let me tell you, when you pull up to someone's bumper, all they see is a gigantic Ford logo and a massive grille. This is a big truck. It is a work truck. This is not a daily driver, although it could be, because it has the comforts with the seating for 5, has all the technology. You've got the current up-to-date software. It used to be a penalty when you had a heavy duty or a super duty truck. And that would mean you would lose all the goodies that you would find in a half-ton truck. Well, that's not the case anymore. All the driver assistance features are here, same as they would be on a half-ton truck, from the lane keep assist, forward collision warning, exit warning, rear cameras. All of that is great. Super crystal clear cameras as well, which you need when you have a vehicle of this size. Other nice features which have been around for a while is the ability to extend or retract the mirrors on the side, that is on the door. And you do need that, because when you're hauling a trailer, if you've never done it before, I'm sure many of you that are watching this have, but if you've never done that before, you got to extend the mirrors or you can't see around the trailer, and that's when someone's hiding in your blind spot and leads to an accident, and that's not good. So all these type of features that have been added to the Super Duty truck make it better for your driving, better for your comfort, improved technology, state of the art for the center screen, for the sync system. Head-up display, it's huge. I like it. It's got everything that you want on here, from not just your speed to the temperature outside, the time, and all that other information. It's all right here. And before this generation, there was a head-up display, but more information is available. Lots of little details that make the newest vehicle the most state-of-the-art. While I'm sitting at this intersection, one of the things you like about this vehicle is you are high up. You can see over the bushes that people forget to trim. You can see the flow of traffic. The seating position is critical. That includes, by the way, if you're short, or a lot of people that are different height, different restrictions, however you're built, the pedals come up to you. You can adjust the seat in multiple different ways. You can lower the seat if you want. You can adjust the pedals accordingly. All of this is designed so no matter who's driving this vehicle, you're going to be able to see over the hood, which is slightly different than the previous generation, like I said, on the exterior. But one thing I really like about this truck is the new acceleration. Regular drive mode, too high. There's also all the other drive modes that are here. You can turn the dial and go to normal, slippery, off-road. I don't know if I'd off-road this. Maybe to a campsite, but this is not an off-road vehicle. It's too wide. There's also a tow haul mode, eco mode, but I'll tell you what, 800 miles on a tank. This is 800 miles. That's better than my vehicle, which is a plus. Part of it is they've squeaked out every last fuel economy mile per gallon they could out of the new high output engine. And with a 355 rear axle, it's not too bad. If you go to an F-450, it has a 373 rear axle, which gets you off the line quicker, but it also sucks up fuel, so you can't have it all. In this particular case, 355 is a really nice balance for this high output engine, and I love this transmission. It's very reliable, and if you want more out of this motor, there are aftermarket things you can buy, like a pedal commander. You can buy all kinds of additional ways to boost the output. But my God, how much torque do you need? You could probably pull a tree out of the ground with 1,200 pound-feet of torque. I mean, and the base engine is more than enough power. So if you're hauling, you want torque. Horsepower is great, but you want torque. And that's what diesel motors are all about. I love diesel. I have a diesel SUV that I drive every single day, and I get 700 miles on a tank. This gets 800 miles on a tank, which is more than the regular base motor. It's more than my 2022. Pretty impressive, everything that they've done. Those little details make this a really nice truck. The price has increased a touch. We'll talk about that in a second. Of course, the competitors are kind of obvious. Ford, General Motors, and Ram, that's it. There really is no other competition, just Ford, GM, and Ram. But they've always built great trucks, all three of them. I've reviewed all of them before. We personally own Fords, but I'll have to say GM and Ram have stepped up their game huge. So it's going to be a challenge of which vehicle meets your needs, what's available, and of course your insurance rates. All those will be your final decision makers because each one has little nuances that make one better than the other. Let's talk about my pros and cons for the F-350 Crew Cab Dually Diesel, as well as the price. There are some pros and cons when it comes to the 2025 F-350 Crew Cab Dually Diesel. Actually, it applies to the full lineup. Great engines, just super powerful, very reliable, and great towing capacity and top of the line torque. So if you need to pull something large, this is going to be the vehicle you're going to be looking at. You want to spread that weight across with a gooseneck or a fifth wheel. Really great towing capacity. We've had these, like I said, for years. And I do want to thank Paul for giving his expert analysis on this vehicle, because when you buy a vehicle like this, you want to talk to people that have owned them before. No matter what brand, you want to know what you're getting. This is a big investment. And if you're going to use it for towing or as a work vehicle, you want to make sure you're getting something that does the job, because you're going to keep this vehicle for a while and a lot of miles. This vehicle offers tons of technology, which is excellent. Safety, which is really important. Comfortable seating, massaging seats, vented, heated steering wheel, heated for second row seats. All of that is really important. Now you're going to say, so what? The competition has that as well. Yes, they do, and that's why it's important to test drive all the vehicles in the category. On the negative side, and this is true for all the vehicles in the category, the entry price, $81,300. And you think, oh, that's not too bad. I can get a truck, I can make money off of it, I can use it for work, I can use it for home and have just one vehicle. Well, all of the brands, you start layering in all these additional optional packages, and you want this vehicle for what you want, maybe not what you need, and the vehicle gets very expensive across the lineup. Our test vehicle came in with delivery and destination at $111,000. That's a lot of money, but so are the competitors. So when you're looking at a vehicle that's over $100,000, I highly suggest that you drive all three of the options, check with your insurance company, and then find out which is going to meet your needs. Every dealer is going to want your business. This is a great truck. They have great resale value as well, all three of them. So it's important that you find what works best for you. Personally, for us, it's always been Fords. My husband's been driving them since 1989, and all the different generations. We currently own a 2022 F-350 Crew Cab Dually Diesel. Very slight differences over the years, but what we don't get is that high output engine, which is why the newest generation gives you better fuel economy, better horsepower, and better torque. All pluses across the lineup. If you have any additional questions, put them down in the comments below. Paul and I will be happy to answer your questions. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. You can support our channel by buying me a cup of coffee. The links for that are down below in the description. And remember, car reviews are on Car Smarts. Car news is on Car Coach Reports. I'm LaurenFix. Thanks so much for watching.